Hello, my name is Ioannis Dizoglou. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to get started with Construct 2. Let's create a new project. Let's go to File, New, and then select New Empty Project. Click Open. Now I would like to go to File, Save, and save your project as my first game. As good practice, never put spaces when you name a project. Click Save. Now, the next thing we need to do, if you cannot see this panel here, just click on the top right corner, the little arrows here, so we can zoom out slightly and then zoom back in, so we can see the full layout. Next thing we need to do, let's zoom out slightly, we need to right click and select Insert New Object. The object we are going to insert is tile background. So what I would like you to do is call it, with the tile background selected, I'm going to call it TB Floor. And click Insert. Click once. Use the Fill tool. Select the color. Click once and exit the Edit Image TB Floor window. Reduce the height. Increase the width. With the TB Floor still selected, we are going to go to the Behaviors panel. From the Properties panel, we're going to select, the Behaviors option. We're going to click on the plus icon, and then we're going to select Solid, and then click Add. Let's exit that. The next thing we need to add is right-click, insert a new object. This time it's going to be Sprite, and then we're going to name it SPR Player. Click Insert. Click once on the white area. Make sure the fill color is selected. Select the color, click once. Use the brush tool. Change the font size to 10. The size to 10. Select a different color. Give me a little eye. Give me a little smile. And give me a little nose. We're going to be working on how to customize characters on other tutorials. Let's exit this. Let's reduce the size of our player. Let's place him here. With the player still selected, we are going to the Properties panel, and we are going to add a number of different behaviors. The first behavior is Solid. The next behavior is Bounce to Layout. This will ensure that our player is not going off our stage. The next behavior we are going to select is Scroll to. This means that the camera follows our player. And finally, the last behavior we are going to add to our player is Platform. This will add all the physics so that our player can jump and move left and right. To test what we just did, click on the little play icon here. And then you can use your arrow keys on your keyboard, left, right, jump. Let's minimize this window. Next thing we need to do is create a couple enemies. So I'm going to right click, insert a new object. I'm going to select the sprite, and I'm going to give the name SPR Killer. Click Insert. Click once on the white area, select the fill icon, select a color, click once. Use the brush, use a different color, give an eye, make him miserable, give him a nose. Click Exit. So this is our enemy. I'm going to reduce the size of an enemy. I'm going to right click, copy. I'm going to right click, paste. Click here. I'm going to right click, paste. Click there. I'm going to right click, paste. Click there. So I've got 4 enemies here. With the enemy selected, any of the enemies selected, I'm going to add a behavior, and the behavior will be Solid. Click Add. Click Exit. Now, when I play a game, because my enemy is Solid, I will not be able to bypass it. So I need to jump over it. Okay. Let's minimize this. Right, the next thing I need to add is I'm going to right click, insert a new object, and I'm going to add a text object. I'm going to call it txt score. I'm going to click insert, and I'm going to add my score on the top left corner of my game. I'm going to add the behavior. The behavior will be anchor, which means that my score will follow me as I move along the game. And I'm going to change the default text from text to score colon space 0. Let's zoom in. So I've got my score, I've got my players, my player, and I've got my enemies. The next thing I need to create is some coins. I'm going to right click, insert new object, sprite, and I'm going to call it coins, SPR coins. I'm going to click insert and click anywhere in the white area, and I'm going to create a coin. I'm going to change the brush size to 100. I'm going to change the color to goldish, and I'm going to change the brush to something like 5 maybe. Change the color to yellowish. I'm going to put the sign. This will be my coin, some Chinese characters, I don't know. I'm going to use the crop tool. So this is my coin. I'm going to exit this. I'm going to reduce the size of my coin. I'm going to right click, copy, right click, paste, click here, right click, paste, click there, right click, paste, click there. Now if I hold the control key down on my keyboard, and once I have selected the coin, if I hold the control key down on my keyboard and click and drag, I can create quite a few coins here by just clicking and dragging while I'm holding down my control key. So I've got a number of coins here. Now with any of the coins selected, I'm going to apply a behavior, and the behavior will be a solid behavior. Okay, so if I click play now, go back to my game, I will be able to see the coins, but I cannot collect them yet. Alright, the next thing we need to do is create some small platforms where our player will be able to jump onto them. I'm going to right click, select insert new object, select tile background, click insert. Click here once, and I'm going to select a different color. Make sure the fill color is selected, the fill tool is selected. Click once. Now what I did, I forgot to name my object. So I'm going to go to, with my object selected, I'm going to go to the properties, and I'm going to rename it to TB platform, or TB call it step. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to place it there. I'm going to right click, select the Z order, set to bottom, so I can see now the coins. With this selected now, I'm going to set the behavior to solid, and also I'm going to add another behavior called sign. Let's exit that. Because I've added the sign behavior, I have some movements here. I can change the movement vertical, horizontal, or I've got different options here. Just going to leave it as default horizontal. I'm going to hold the control key down and click and drag to basically replicate this. Objects. I'm gonna hold the control key down and add a couple extra coins here. here and there. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is go and start doing some coding. But before I do that, actually, let's create the lives here. Just going to right click, insert a new object. It's going to be a sprite object. I'm going to call it SPR lives. Click insert. Click here. I'm going to use the brush tool. I'm going to change the brush size to 100. I'm going to select the red color. I'm going to click once there. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 3 dots here. I'm going to use the crop tool. I'm going to go to the animation frames, right click, duplicate, right click, duplicate, right click, duplicate. So I have 4 copies of this picture. I'm going to use the eraser with the frame number 3 selected. I'm going to delete everything, erase everything. With the frame number 2 selected, I'm going to remove the 2 dots. With the frame number 1 selected, I'm just going to remove 1 dot. So I have 3 lives, 2 lives, 1 life, and none lives. I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to place these lives to the location I'm happy with. Bear in mind, we will be able to change all the pictures that we have to something more realistic later on, like hearts. So I'm going to double click here, and on the properties window we'll be able to see the speed set to 5. Change the speed to 0. Click exit. Now I've got everything in my design view in place. The next thing I need to do is create a new layout. So I'm going to right click on the layout folder, click add layout. I'm going to add an event seed as well, and I'm going to call my new layout game over. The event seed number 2, I'm going to right click, rename it, call it game over. I'm going to rename my layout 1 to level 1, and I'm going to rename my event seed 1 to level 1. I'm going to right click on my level 1 and select duplicate, and I'm going to call this level 2. And I'm going to add a new layout, add an event seed, and I'm going to call it you win. I'm going to rename the event seed, the new event seed, to you win as well. So I have level 1, I have level 2. Now my level 2 is basically another copy of my level 1, as I duplicate my level 1. So if I double click on my level 1, and my level 2 is exactly the same. So if I go on my level 2, I can make some rearrangements. So my level 1 looks like this, my level 2 looks like that. So you can make some rearrangements later on yourselves. Now let's do some programming now. I'm gonna double click on the level 1. Let's call it levels. So let's rename level 1 event seed to levels. Double click on the levels, add a new event seed, add a new event. The new event is the player on collision with another object. The object is the enemy. Done. Then I'm going to add again the player on collision with another object. At this time I'm going to select the coin. Done. So I've got 2 collisions here. One collision with the enemy, one collision with the coin. Let's go back to level 1
because I forgot to add one thing. I'm going to right click here and insert a new object. The new object I'm going to add is a function object. I'm going to call it my function. Click insert. Now I'm also going to add, right click, insert new object. I'm going to scroll down and add audio. I'm going to call it my audio. Click insert. Now I can go to my levels, event seed, and I'm going to right click here and add a global variable. The first global variable, I will call it score. I'm going to also add another global variable, and I'm going to call it deaths. I'm going to add an event, and the event will be a function. Oops. I'm going to add an event, the event will be a function event, and I'm going to select on function. And I'm going to call my function on deaths. Click done. I'm also going to add another event, and the event will be again my function, but this time it's going to be compare the parameter. The parameter will be 0 less than 2. Done. Next, I'm going to add another event. The event will be system, and I'm going to select the compare variables, and then I'm going to select deaths is equals to 3. Click done. Finally, I'm going to add another event, and it's going to be system event, and I'm going to type here on every tick. Click done. Now, with my function on my function on deaths, add an action. Click add action. The first action we will select is the system action. We'll say add to deaths one value. Click done. Then we're going to add another action on the deaths function, and the new action will be the player needs to be destroyed. So we're going to type destroy and double click on destroy. The final thing that we need to add on the deaths, the final action, we want the layout to restart. So add another action, system action, restart layout. Click add, click done, sorry. Next, we need to select on my function parameter 0, 2, we want to restart the layout. So as long as the lives are less than 2, the layout will restart, keep restarting. So we're going to select system, and we're going to select restart layout. Click done. Next, system deaths equals 3. I want to send the player to a new layout. So I'm going to select system, go to layout, and I'm going to select game over. So if he loses all 3 lives, it needs to be directed to game over. Done. Then on every tick, I need to click and add an action. I'm going to select my lives, SPR lives. I'm going to select set frame, click next, and I'm going to type here deaths. And as I start typing, it should come up. Click done. Now I've got everything in place. On the collision, when my player collides with the enemy, I want to call this function on deaths. So I'm going to click an action, I'm going to click on the function, and I'm going to select call function, and I'm going to type on deaths. Click done. Next, when the player collides with a coin, I'm going to add an action, and I'm going to play a sound. But before I add a sound, I need to make sure that I have added some sounds on my sound library here.
I'm going to right click, I'm going to import sounds, and I'm going to select all these 3 sounds. I'm going to show you how to create the sounds. Let's go to bfxr.net. Here you will be able to select to create some sounds. You can play around with the settings, and once you're happy with the sound you just created, you click export, and you save in the sound as a WAV file format by naming your sound appropriately. So that's how I create my sounds. I'm going to highlight all my sounds, click open, click import, click OK. Now the OGG files have been created. So when my player collides with a coin, I want 2 things to happen. The first thing I would like to happen is the coin to be destroyed. So I'm going to select the coin, and then I'm going to type destroy. And the next thing I would like to do is play an audio. So my audio, I'm going to select play, and then from the drop down list I'm going to select pick coin. Click done. Now when the player is killed within my function, I'm going to add another action. The action will be audio, and it's going to play a sound. And the sound is going to play, it's going to be hit hurt. Done. So every time my player touches the enemy, we're going to call this function, and this function will add 1 point to the deaths variable. It's going to destroy my player, it's going to restart the layout, and it's going to play the sound. Let's play the sound before we destroy the player. So it's going to add the point, it's going to play the sound, it's going to destroy the player, and then it's going to restart the layout. Let's test our project. Click play. Let's go to our project. So we have here the sign, so things are moving. So if I select the coin, okay, so I'm dying, and 3rd time, and now I'm directed to the game over layout. I need to customize this slightly. Another thing I forgot to do, if I go to the layout, if I click on the lives, I need to make sure the behavior is set to anchor. Click add. Let's click here. Now before I test the game again, I'm going to my game over screen, layout, and I'm just going to right click here. Actually no, I'm going to recycle some of the objects that I've got. The floor, I'm going to click and drag the floor here, and I'm going to click and drag my player here. Also I'm going to right click here and insert a new object. I'm going to select a text. I'm going to type txt game over, or txt big text, I'll call it. Insert, click once, and I'm going to scroll down and change the default text to game over. I'm going to change the font size to something quite big, let's say 72, or let's say 100. I'm just going to type here 100, click OK. I'm going to increase the size. Okay, I'm going to select game over, and do I need to do anything else? Yeah, let's test it. Let's go back to my level 1. Let's press play. So I can, as you can see, because I've anchored my lives, I can see it now. So if I collect a coin, now what I have not done yet is put the code, so when I'm collecting coins, the score will change. Now if I touch the enemy, I just died and the layout restarted. I lost another life. Lost another life, game over. Let's fix the coins. So I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to go to my
event seed for level 1 for levels, and every time I collect a coin, I want also to add another action, and the action will be system add to, and then I'm going to select score. So we add it to the score 1, click done. So every time I collect a coin, it's going to add to the score 1 point, and then I'm going to add action here on my coin. I'm going to select my TXT score, click next, and I'm going to select the option which says, if we scroll down, set text, and I'm going to call it score colon space, and after the quote I'm going to put a space, I'm going to put the and sign, and I'm going to put space, and I'm going to type score, and as I start typing it will come up. So basically it's going to give me the label score colon, and wherever the score is will be determined by the global variable called score. Let's click done, and let's click play. Let's go back here. So my score is 0 if I select the first coin, 1, 2, and I just died now, and basically I'm stuck here now on game over. Now I need to add a new button here. So if I minimize this, I'm gonna go to my game over screen, and I'm gonna right click here. I'm gonna insert a new object. The new object is a button. I'm gonna call it BTN start. Let's say start game. Insert. Click once. And what I'm gonna do here now, I'm gonna go to my game over event seed. I'm gonna add an event on button. Click. So when somebody clicks on this button, the action will be system, go to layout, level 1. Another thing that I must do is clear all the variables. I'm going to click add action, select system, and then reset global variables. Let's press play. So if I select the coin, okay, I just died and my life starts from 0, and now I can click here to restart the game. Can't even jump high enough, so I'm just going to bring this bar slightly lower. It's a bit, as you can see, it's a bit challenging. Ooh. I think I'm gonna have some more fun later. Anyway, this is how you create a video game, a simple video game construct in less than 30 minutes. Thank you for watching. Bye.